So for the morning session, we talked about how to manage the order collaboration and creating the packing plan. So we're going to continue the plan to ship in the afternoon. I apologize that we couldn't finish the plan to ship this morning, so we've just put this item in the afternoon. Okay, so before we get into the detailed introduction to this document, I'd like to review the workflow one more time, just in case some of you didn't join the morning session. The workflow that I'm presenting now is for the Pentland pack and ship process in the NEXUS, right? And this one is the Pentland managed workflow with integrated LSP. Speaking of integrated LSP, LSP stands for Logistics Service Provider. So when they are integrated, that means supplier will submit a plan to ship document treated as a vendor booking. And once it's reviewed by Pentland, the plan to ship will be sent to the integrated consolidator or logistics service provider via the NEXUS. Okay. So they're going to review the plan to ship and make the booking. And once the booking is confirmed, they will respond the plan to ship with a plan to ship response file. So the plan to ship status will be updated. So when the booking is accepted, your plan to ship will become accepted. If the consolidator declined your booking, your plan to ship will be rejected status. So this is the Pentland managed flow with integrated logistics service providers. The other flow is the customer managed flow with non-integrated LSP. So when it comes to non-integrated LSP, that means the plan to ship submitted by supplier will not be directly sent to the consolidator or LSP. The plan to ship will be sent to Pentland to review. So all the plan to ship will be reviewed by Pentland. Then they're going to provide the logistics service provider information on the plan to ship and approve this document. And after that, supplier can check the plan to ship and view the relevant consolidator information, then make the booking offline. Okay. When the booking is confirmed offline, vendor supplier needs to complete the plan to ship response file generated in the system. So by completing this document, the plan to ship status will be updated to accepted. What you need to do is to just provide the shipment details that provided by the non-integrated consolidator onto the plan to ship response file, then accept this document. Okay, so that's the about the workflow. Then next, I'll show you how to get the plan to ship created in the NEXUS, and how to check the plan to ship response file, and how to manually complete the plan to ship response for the customer managed flow with non-integrated LSP. Okay. So the plan to ship will be created by packing plan. So firstly, your packing plan must be approved and in active status. Then when creating the plan to ship, you can select one or multiple packing plans onto the plan to ship document. For direct delivery order, the plan to ship needs to be submitted 14 days before the cargo ready date. And for the plan to ship with multiple packing plan included, and you have to make sure those packing plans have having the same responsible ship party for freight, brand, Ecoterm, origin, ship mode, final destination, and consolidator. Okay, the ship mode will be populated from the purchase order. Okay, and if any critical PO amendment is sent into NEXUS, and after initial confirmation, and vendor needs to reconfirm the orders via the order collaboration. So if the plan to ship is already created, the document needs to be updated accordingly. So user can go for plan to ship impact due to critical order amendment email subscription to receive email alert in terms of the any critical order amendments in the system. Once the plan to ship is submitted, and you can reopen and update the plan to ship if needed. Well, however, if the change, if the point loading of discharge is changed, the plan to ship needs to be cancelled and a new one needs to be created. So about the Pentland managed flow with integrated LSP shipment, the booking quantity on the plan to ship must be within the tolerance defined on the PO. And once the plan to ship is submitted, Pentland will review those plan to ship based on certain conditions. Then the plan to ship status will become pending buyer review after submitted by the supplier. And once they review the plan to ship, the document status will become active. And this booking file will be sent to the integrated LSP via the NEXUS. Okay, so the LSP will review the plan to ship and make the booking, and then respond a plan to ship with a response file. If any plan to ship are cancelled, a message will be sent to the integrated LSP. Then for the customer managed flow with non-integrated LSP, and over or under booking is not allowed. Okay, so Pentland will review all the plan to ship submitted in the system, then provides the LSP information on the plan to ship and approve the document. So supplier can get the LSP information from the plan to ship, then contact the relevant LSP offline, which is outside of NEXUS, to make the shipment booking. And once the booking is confirmed, vendor will need to complete the plan to ship response task. If the plan to ship is cancelled, supplier needs to contact the LSP outside of NEXUS about the cancellation of the booking. Okay. So all the PTS of the direct delivery orders will be reviewed by Pentland. And for the DC orders, Pentland will review the plan to ship based on below conditions. So when the conditions are matched, the plan to ship will be sent to Pentland for review directly. And only when they reviewed plan to ship and approved the plan to ship, the plan to ship will be sent to the integrated consolidator. So the next, I'll provide you a quick demo on how to create a plan to ship in the system. So now I'm logging to the training environment. Because plan to ship will be created by packing plan, right? So firstly, we need to check if the packing plan has been created. So you can search the packing plan by packing plan reference or by PO number on the packing plan search page. Okay, click refresh once the PO number is entered. And we can check there's one packing plan is created and inactive status. So we can use this packing plan to create the plan to ship. Click on create and go for plan to ship by packing plan. Then you'll be taken to the packing plan selection page. And you can use the packing plan reference or PO number or create date to quickly locate the packing plans available for the plan to ship. So here I'm putting a packing plan reference and apply. And filter out the packing plan and select the packing plan. And on the right, the packing plan selected is displayed. If you like to add more packing plan to the current selection, just click on the filter icon and input the document reference to search the packing plan and then select the packing plan. Okay. There's a cross button. So this button is used to remove the packing plan from the selection. And clear is just to clear all the packing plans selected. To proceed, you can click on next. Then the plan to ship will be generated with the packing plan data populated. So now we're on the plan to ship. The status is new and it will be updated once we validate and submit this document. And on the left, these are the pages covered in the plan to ship. So on this document, any existing data that you see comes from the purchase order and packing plan. This is the plan to ship reference number, which is system generated. So you can use this number to search any plan to ship created. And ship from destination consolidator auto-populated. And moving down, you can provide the required dates. Four of them are required. The cargo ready, estimated cargo ready date, exit factory date, estimated departure, and estimated arrival. So you can enter the date directly or use the calendar to select the date. Okay, exit factory. Then estimated departure. Estimated arrival. Okay, and moving down, you can see the method mode comes from the purchase order, and shipment type, a shipment load type is required. Just click on the field, then you will have options to select based on your actual shipment, and select the relevant shipment load type. I'm just putting the CFS LCL consolidated load for this plan to ship. And Ecoterm location comes from the purchase order, as well as the departure location and the arrival location. Then moving down is the equipment section. Click on add. Okay, now we can select equipment type. If it's CY full container load, you should provide the actual equipment type, the container type you need to book. For example, 20, right? You can input to quickly pull out the options. Okay, and for LCL shipment, we can go for LCL container annual size. The const field must be entered. Okay, for the CY full container load, you can enter the actual containers needed for this booking. And for LCL, you can just input 1. Okay. Additional parties and selected orders. Okay. Click on Next. So this is the item page, edit item page, containing all the PO line item populated from the packing plan. And you can view the item details and the item quantity on the booking, the carton counts, the packing methods, and the weights and the volume. And the data here comes from the packing plan. Actually, the data can be edited here, but you recommend it to go back to your packing plan if a change is needed. Okay, then once the packing plan is updated, you can reload the packing plan on the plan to ship in order to populate the latest packing plan data. Okay, click on Next. We'll get into the preview page of plan to ship, and you can find the action buttons. Validate is to validate the document to see if any errors or if all the required fields are entered. And edit is to go and edit the data field on the plan to ship. And reload pack plans is to reload the packing plan on this document to refresh the packing plan data. And cancel is to cancel the plan to ship document. And submit is to activate this document. And when in a scenario that plan to ship needs to be reviewed by Pentland, Pentland will review the plan to ship and approve the plan to ship. Okay. Just quickly to show you the reload option. Let's assume if the packing plan has been updated after the plan to ship is generated. And we can click on Reload Pack Plan and click OK to confirm. And at the top right, we can see Reload button. Click Reload is to confirm reloading the packing plan. And cancel reload is just, to withdraw this action, to cancel the reload. Okay. So let me just submit this plan to ship. And just once I submit, just take a look at the status. You will see the status will be updated. Okay, to active. So for this one, because the plan to ship doesn't need to be reviewed by Pentland, so it becomes active directly. Then this plan to ship will be sent to the integrated consolidator for the shipment booking. Well, for all the direct delivery orders, once you submit the plan to ship, the status will become pending buyer review. So it doesn't reach the final stage. Pentland needs to review the plan to ship and provide the relevant logistics service provider information on the plan to ship, so that you can make the booking with the logistics service provider offline. Okay, so once it's submitted, we still have cancel, reload pack plan, and reopen. And reopen is to reopen the document and make the change and submit it again. If a PDF is needed, click on the ellipsis button and go for View PDF to generate the PDF of the document. To search the plan to ship, click on Applications, then Plan to ship. And use the filters on the left. Click on Apply. It will get you the plan to ship created in the last 30 days. So we can find the plan to ship reference and the connected PO number, then the document status. As you can see, there are different type of status for plan to ship. Some of them are in new status, and some of them are in accepted or reviewed, or even rejected. You know, when the booking is rejected. You could also use the document reference, like the PO number. This is the packing plan. Input the PO number and apply to search a plan to ship created against a particular order. Okay. Again, all the instructions and operational steps are provided on the training menu, as well as the required field on plan to ship. So when you start working on the plan to ship, you can reference the training menu for all the required data fields on this document. Just to let you know, after clicking validate on the plan to ship, you might be presented with validation errors or warnings. And so when any validation errors or warnings are triggered, and you're gonna see an alert icon next to the status. So click on the alert icon, and you can find the details of the validation error or warnings. Then edit the plan to ship. And only when the validation errors are passed, that are resolved, then the plan to ship can be available to submit. Okay. And for any plan to ship needs to be reviewed by buyer, the document status will be buyer review pending. We talked about reload pack plan on the plan to ship. You always recommended to, update the packing plan first, or if any change on the quantity or carton counts, right, or weight or carton measures, go and update the packing plan, then reload the packing plan on the plan to ship. Then about the document status, the table here shows you the description for each status. New means this document is not submitted yet by supplier. Buyer review pending means the document is pending buyer review. Or if buyer reject the plan to ship, the status will become reviewed. Okay. Then you need to edit the plan to ship and resubmit it again. And active means the plan to ship has been submitted successfully, and Pentland has reviewed plan to ship. And for integrated logistics service provider shipment, they will receive the plan to ship and respond the plan to ship with a response file. So the plan to ship status will be updated to accepted, either accepted or rejected. So rejected means the logistics service provider declined the booking. And reopen means the document has been reopened and in edit mode. And cancelled, the document has been cancelled. So by checking the status, you will understand whether the document has been submitted successfully, or whether the booking has been accepted or not. Okay. Then about the plan to ship response, no matter it's completed by the LSP or manually by the supplier, the plan to ship response file will be saved in the plan to ship folder. So show you to ship. So this one is in accepted status, and click on the folder icon to get into the plan to ship folder. And at header level, you can find the relevant information and shipment details. And when the booking number is provided, you can also find the booking number here and the relevant consolidator. And moving down to the plan to ship, the documents section, you can find the plan to ship created, then plan to ship response. All the plan to ship response will be displayed in this plan to ship response history. Then the latest response will be displayed in the table above. And you can click on the plan to ship response link to view the details of the shipment provided by the logistics service provider. And when the booking is accepted, and you will see the response status code shows accepted booking confirmed. And the booking number can also be viewed on this page. And if any additional shipment data is provided, like the appointment type, appointment date, or any other type of shipment data, like the vessel or voyage number, you can find it from the plan to ship response file page. Okay. Another thing to let you know is that if the plan to ship has been rejected, and when you come to the plan to ship response file, you're going to find the response status code will be rejected. Then the relevant reject reason code or comment or reject description will be provided on this page as well. Right. So, and about the customer managed flow with the non-integrated LSP shipment, as introduced, supplier needs to manually complete the plan to ship response file in the NEXUS after the booking was made offline and confirmed by the LSP. Okay. Oops. So when the plan to ship response is completed by supplier, supplier will find a plan to ship response task pending on the task page. So get into this plan to ship response from the task page, then enter the required information, such as the carrier booking number, appointment type, appointment date that provided by the logistics service provider. And make sure the shipment method mode and ship load type, vessel voyage number are populated. And check the departure location and departure date, arrival location, and arrival dates are populated. If anything is missing, you can manually update the data. The equipment type and the equipment count should come from the plan to ship. Once you reviewed and update the required data field on the plan to ship response, and just click accept to accept the plan to ship. Okay. So about this part, oops. So when the plan to ship response is generated for supplier to complete, you will find a task pending on the task page. You can use the document type or document reference to quickly locate the pending document. So I'm using the PO number for this one to search the any related pending documents. So the plan to ship response is pending here, and we can see the relevant PO number. And click on the plan to ship response. And the document status is pending. And on this document, just provide the required information, such as the carrier booking number. It's a dummy number here. So just provide the the booking number that you received from the logistics service provider, and select accepted booking confirmed from response status code, and update appointment date and type. And you can select the date from the calendar or manually enter the date and select the appointment type. And shipment details. And if you have the vessel information, you can also get the vessel weight number updated here. And departure location, departure date, arrival location, arrival date, arrival date. So for this one, I'm going to manually update the departure date. And arrival date. Okay. And click on next. And validate, accept button. So validate to see if all the required data fields are entered. And click on accept to accept this plan to ship response. Then the associated plan to ship will be updated to accept it. Well, if you need to go back and then make a change, click on edit. Okay, I'm just accepting this plan to ship response. So click on accept. And now the status has been changed to accepted. Well, if you go to check the relevant plan to ship, and you can see the status has been updated. So this is the workflow for customer managed flow with non-integrated logistics service provider and supplier to manually complete the plan to ship response task. Okay, so I think this is all for the plan to ship document. So the once the booking Once the booking is confirmed and before shipment, you can proceed label printing and shipment scanning, then submit the packing list. So the next topic we're going to cover is label printing. The label format actually will be auto-generated. There are 6 label formats for Pentland. And each PO line item will be assigned with a label ID code. The label ID code shows which label format will be used for the line item. You know, when packing the different items into a mixed carton, the label ID code must be the same, right? And the table here shows you the relevant label type, okay, for each label ID. So the format will be auto-generated. And you can preview the label format before you go for the actual printing. For suppliers has equipped with the label printer, and you can print the labels directly using the label printer on site. And for some of the suppliers doesn't have the label printer, you can place a label order via the NEXUS. Then label order will be sent to every denizen service bureau, and they will print the carton labels for you and ship the labels to the supplier. Right? And print and reprint options are available. If any of the cartons is lost carton label or damage or the label is damaged, and supplier can reprint for certain cartons in the system. So to print the carton labels, and you should go to the print scan ship from the applications menu. Just keep in mind that before you're able to print the labels and or completing the shipment scanning, and your computer needs to be installed with desktop utility, and the web extension needs to be enabled in your browser. Okay. Click on application, then print, scan, ship. So this is the page where you do the printing and shipment scanning and creating shipment. And when the page is loading, you have to wait until it's loaded successfully. 3 icons at the top left. The first one indicates if you are online, and the middle one shows whether desktop utility is connected or not. The third one shows the label formats. Okay, if the label format is not up to date, there will be a yellow alert sign. Okay, left click on the icon and sync label template to update the label template, label format. So now we can start printing, scanning, and creating shipment from this page. And on the left, okay, click print package labels and input the PO number or packing plan reference to filter the created cartons available for printing. So we can use the document reference. I'm inputting a PO number here, and print is selected by default on the right. And browse date shows 60 days. So that means when the document reference is not entered, you can still click on OK to search any carton created and available for printing from the past 60 days. Click OK. So these are the cartons that created against this purchase order. There are like 150 cartons. And we can, from the page here, we can select the carton ranges and click on Send to Printer to print the selected cartons. And the number of cartons selected will be presented on the page. So 30 cartons have been selected. And you can also just select the box on the top to select all the carton ranges on this page. So now there are 150 cartons have been selected. And before you go for the actual printing, if you like to preview the label format, you can click on any carton range and to view the label format for that range. So right click on the range and preview label. Then the label format will be presented for you to review. So this is the what the carton label looks like. It shows ship from, ship to, and purchase order number, the SKU number, the size. Basically, this is a solid packing carton, so the size is displayed, and quantity packed in this carton, and the weight, the number of carton, and the country of origin. And there is a barcode at the bottom. So this is the label barcode that you need to scan in the next process, which is Siemens scanning. Okay. Let me, oops. Right. So all the cartons on this PO are bulk packing. Just let me quickly show you what the mixed carton label looks like. So right click on the range, then preview label. And for a mixed carton, and you can see the size item included, mixed in this carton with their quantities. So 3 size items are packed. Okay, you can view their quantities packed. Okay, the carton weights, origin, and the number of carton. And ship from, ship to, purchase order, SKU number. Okay, so this is the mixed. Right, this is a multi mixed. Okay. Okay. So now let's try to print the cartons. If you like to do a test print to see the printing quality, and you can partial select certain cartons from the range by right-clicking the range, then select packaging. Okay, and add and apply. So there are only 2 cartons are selected, and we can click on Send to Printer. And if you get a label printer connected to this computer, then the labels will be printed. Okay, so now in the print mode, carton 1 and 2 have been removed because they've already printed. And if you go to the reprint mode and check, you will see carton 1 and 2 available in the reprint mode. So later on, if the label is damaged or lost, and you can reprint for certain cartons on this page. Okay. Okay. The other option is to place the order. So for some suppliers, place the order via the NEXUS, and you can select the cartons or carton ranges, then click on Placed Order. Then input a label order number. This can be self-defined, to reference for this label order. And when you communicate with Evidence Service Bureau, and you can provide this label order number for their reference. Oops. And click on Approve is to active this label order. And you can see the ship to and bill to already populated. Okay, and just click on Approve. And now we've successfully created a label order. And to check the label order, you can go to Applications, then Ticket Label Order. And on this page, all the label orders are sorted by the order number. So this order number is not Pentland's PO number. This is the label order number you entered. Okay, when once the label order is submitted, and if you like to cancel or put it on hold, you have to contact Evidence offline, and by providing this label order reference number. The second column shows the buyer's PO number. Then the provider status column shows you the progress of your label order. So once you submit the label order, the data will be sent to Evidence Service Bureau. And once they receive the order, the status will be updated to open. Then they will, follow their current workflow to get your label order printed. The status will be updated accordingly. You will see the different status presented here, like the, shipped or invoiced. So for any issues related to your label order, you need to contact Evidence Service Bureau offline. So this is about the label print. And now I'm gonna play a short video to let you see how the label printing works. Well, this video just takes a couple minutes. It just provides you an overview, how to work in the system, and then how the labels are printed, for you to have a better understanding on this part. Right. So this video is particularly for the printer model, which is ADTP1. And go back to the training menu. So once the labels are printed, and if you go to the packing plan, okay, let me show you. The print and scan status will be updated. Okay, you can go to the plan folder and check the print and scan status. So for this packing plan, uh, there is 150 cartons created, and now we've just get all of them printed. So the printed field shows 150. Because we haven't started the shipment scanning process, so the number of cartons shows 0. So coming to the packing plan folder, you understand if any cartons are printed and or scanned. Okay. Okay. So for suppliers placing the label orders, we introduced that the status, provider status will be updated, right? And this page shows you all the applicable status for your label orders. Okay. Like new, open, in production, hold, shipped, invoice, or cancelled. Supplier cannot really cancel or change the label order. So if the label order needs to be on hold or cancelled, just contact Evidence and offline via email or telephone. So that's about the label print. Then the next process will be shipment scanning. All the printed cartons will be available for shipment scan. And about this part, a handheld scanner will be used. So after all the carton labels are printed, and you can use a handheld scanner to scan the carton label barcode and load those cartons into a container or equipment to indicate which container or equipment they will be shipped. To complete the shipment scanning, you will need to finish 3 steps. They are download, scan, and upload. So step 1, download. That is to download the carton details or carton data onto your handheld scanner. Let's say I'm going to ship 2 POs. So to download the carton data of that 2 PO onto the handheld scanner, right? The second step is to scan the label barcode. During scanning, you will need to enter a unique container or equipment number on your scanner before scan the label barcode. And for C1 shipment, you can use the actual container number if you have it on hand. For a CFS shipment, you can use the booking number as the equipment reference. Or if the actual container is not known during the scanning stage, you can enter a dummy or temporary number, then get this number changed later. When all the cartons have been scanned, you can upload the data back to the system. Right? And if you haven't finished scanning all the cartons, you still can do the upload. It doesn't mean, let's say you download 100 cartons. It doesn't mean you can upload data only when you finish that 100 cartons. Let's say if you just finish 50, you still can do the upload. And when the data is uploaded to the system, and only 50 cartons will be available for the shipment, and for the rest of cartons unscanned, and you still need to select those cartons and download it again and scan those cartons next time. During scanning, you can change the equipment number on the scanner and to scan certain cartons into a different equipment. Okay, so that's the 3 steps included in the shipment scanning. So by using a handheld scanner to complete the shipment scanning, it will ensure the shipment accuracy. Okay. So to complete the shipment scanning, come to Print Scan Ship, then click on Shipment Scan, and use the document reference like PO or packing plan. You can input multiple document reference by using a comma to separate 2 different document reference. So it doesn't mean you can only input 1 document reference. Multiple can be input by using a comma. Then on the right, ready to scan is selected by default. Click on OK. Then the cartons, which are label printed, will be displayed. So you need to print first, then only printed cartons will be visible in the shipment scan page. So these are the 150 cartons. So we've just, get the labels printed. So to download, okay, let me just put that 3 steps. To download the data onto your handheld scanner, you will need to select the cartons that you want to scan for the shipment. And you can select all, or you can partially select carton ranges. And from a range, you could even just partially select certain cartons by right-clicking the range, then select packages. Okay, add and apply. So 2 cartons from the first range have just been selected. Right, so select the cartons and click on Make Scan File. Make Scan File is to convert the data and into a format that can be transmitted to the scanner. That's what you need to do in the system. Then you will move on to the scanner operation. Because you will need to press some keys in order to receive data from scanner. So firstly is to turn on the power key, right? Then from the scanner main menu, there are 7 options. Let me enlarge the screenshot a bit. 7 options. To receive the data from system on the scanner, you need to press 1, receive data, and press 3, shipment on the next screen. Then press 1 again on the confirm receive screen. Okay, so that's what you need to press on your scanner. 1, 3, 1. This actually is a fixed operation. It will be the same for every time, for each time. 1, 3, 1 is the keys that you need to press on the scanner for receiving the data from the system. So once 131 is pressed, and system will present a screen showing the downloading progress. And on your scanner screen, it will show receiving. And once the receiving is complete, your scanner screen will present the total number of cartons downloaded. So for this screenshot, T stands for the total number of cartons downloaded, which is 14 cartons. And you can press any key to go back to the main menu. And in the system, a message will pop up telling you the number of cartons sent to your scanner. Just click on OK to confirm. So for now, you've completed the first step, which is to download data from the system to your scanner. Then you will come to step 2 to scan the carton label barcode. So once you get back to the main menu on your scanner, and for scanning, you need to press 4, which is shipment scan. So get into 4 shipment scan. And if this is your first time of using your scanner, the screen shows please input container number. Then you can, enter the a unique equipment number on your scanner. And press enter to confirm. Then the screen will come to this one. It will show you the container now is number. So this will be the number you've just pressed on your scanner. And 3 options provided below. Want to change? If the number you've entered is correct, you can press 3. No change. Then the screen will come to scan next item. Well, if you press 1, want to change yes, then the scanner screen will go back to please input container number. Then you have to start over again by entering a new equipment number. And once it's entered, it come back to this screen and press 3 to proceed scanning. So only when you see screen scan next item, this means you can start scanning. And on the scanner screen, you can check the status, scan status. At the bottom right of the screen, you can see the total number of cartons downloaded, which is 14. And S stands for the number of cartons you've scanned. So for this one, which is 1. And during scanning, you can press F4 whenever needed to exit the scanning screen. But next time when you need to come back, you have to press 4 again from the main menu, then press 3, no change, to confirm the container number. So if the rest of the cartons will be scanned to the same container or equipment, you can press 1. If they need to be scanned to another equipment, then press 1 to enter a new equipment number and confirm, then start scanning the rest of cartons until you finish scanning all the cartons. You might see an error message on your scanner screen. One is data duplicate. Press any key to exit the error message. This happens when the data is duplicate. Let's say one carton has already been scanned. If you scan that carton again, this error will be triggered. It doesn't really increase the total number of carton you scanned. It's just a kind of alert telling you, oh, this carton has been scanned already. Just press any key to go back to the scanning. Then the next is invalid carton number. So this happens when a carton that you scanned is not the carton you downloaded on your scanner. Let's say you downloaded from carton 1 to 50, and now the carton you're scanning is carton 55. So it's not downloaded. Then that's why this error message is triggered to alert the user. And you can press F4 to exit the error message, then continue scanning the rest of the cartons. So that this is step 2. What you need to press on your scanner is for shipment scanning, then enter a unique equipment number on your scanner. So the next step is upload. Once you finish scanning, you need to connect your scanner to your computer and press 5 on your scanner, which is send data. Press 5 on scanner, then in the system, log back to the system and go to the print scan ship page, and then click upload from scanner and click on receive to receive the data. Okay, so step 3, you need to press 5 on your scanner and click upload from scanner in the system. Well, basically for step 1 and step 3, your scanner needs to be connected to the computer. And for step 2, scanner can be taken to the warehouse or any place for you to scan the carton label barcode. Okay. So once the data is uploaded, you'll be presented with a message telling you the total number of carton scanned, the number of carton not scanned, and the total container or equipment created. Okay, just click OK to confirm. Right. So this is the shipment scanning. Okay, again, I'm going to show you a video okay, to let you watch how this process works. And after watching this video, I think you'll have a better understanding or have a visualized understanding on the how the shipment scanning is completed.
This video shows you how to perform shipment scan with Avery Dennison DT970 scanner. After printing the package labels, scan each package label by using a scanner. There are 3 main steps to perform shipment scan. First, download the package data to the scanner. Second, scan each package. Third, upload the scan result. First thing, connect the cradle and PC with USB cable. Then place the scanner on the cradle. Press the power button, turn on the scanner. Check out the green light on scanner and cradle. Now, go to the System Print Scan Ship page. Click Shipment Scan. From the pop-up window, enter criteria to locate specific package ranges to scan. Select Ready to Scan. Then, click OK. The search result is displayed. Select the package ranges to be scanned. Click Make Scan File. On the other side, make sure the scanner is ready to download data. From the scanner main menu screen, press 1, Receive data. Continue to press 3, Receive data for shipment. Press 1 to confirm receive data from the system. Then, the scanner starts receiving data from the system. When data is completely downloaded, the scanner shows 100% and gives a beep sound. T refers to the total carton number downloaded. Press any key to return to the main menu screen. Meanwhile, the system confirms the number of cartons sent to the scanner. Click OK to close the pop-up window. From this moment on, you can remove the scanner from the cradle and send it to the floor to scan cartons. Step 2. To scan each carton, turn on the scanner. Press 4 from the main menu screen. Input your equipment number and press Enter. When the input is done, the scanner shows the equipment number you entered and asks you to confirm. Press 3 to confirm, or press 1 to further change. At this stage, you may start scanning labels. Press the round button on keypad to scan. The scanner gives off a red IR light. Another option is press both red buttons on the scanner to scan. Hold your scanner and aim at the barcode. Scan each of the carton label. When all downloaded cartons are successfully scanned, the scanner shows all cartons have been scanned. Press any key to exit. After scanning is completed, place the scanner back to the cradle and press 5, Send data. The transmission status is displayed on the scanner screen. In the system, click Upload from Scanner on the Tools menu. Click Receive to start receiving data. When the upload is completed, the system will show a confirmation box with the number of cartons scanned versus not scanned. To see detailed carton information, expand the details grid. Click Summary to return to the summarized view. Click OK to close the window. This is how to perform shipment scan. Thanks for watching.
Right. So this is about the shipment scanning process. The next the next part I'd like to introduce is the menu scan option. For some of the suppliers, you know, when your scanner is not working or is still on delivery, you haven't received your newly purchased handheld scanner, and you can use the menu scan function in the system. When buyer permits and you have the relevant system configuration, then you can use the menu scan option. That is to manually assign the equipment number or container number to selected cartons. Okay. So to perform menu shipment scan, click shipment scan. So this time, select assign equipment ID and click OK. And all the cartons available for shipment scanning will be presented. And you can select all carton or partially select carton range if they will be assigned into different container or equipment. And click on Assign Equipment ID. Then manually enter the number. This will be the same number as you enter on your handheld scanner. Same rules will be applied. For CY, you can use the actual container. If the actual container number is not provided yet, you can enter a temporary or dummy number here, then get it changed later. I'll use the just the PO number. And click on apply and click OK to confirm. So now we've just manually assigned those selected cartons into a container. Okay, and to check the container we've just created, click on create shipment and we can find the equipment record. So this is the row here are sorted by equipment number and PO number. If a PO is loaded into different equipment, then you will see the equipment number, different equipment number will be assigned, then the PO number will be the same. And right click on the equipment, then go for show contents. You can view the PO packing plan reference, the cartons serial numbers loaded into this container. Okay, click close once you review the details. The number can be changed if a dummy number was used at early stage. Select the equipment and click on change equipment number from the top right. Then enter a new number here. I'll just put a number, then apply and click OK. And you can see the change is immediately reflected in the system. So this is how to change the equipment number. Well, if some of the cartons have been, let's say, wrongly loaded into this equipment, and you need to unscan those cartons from this current equipment and then scan them to another equipment. So for the handheld scanner, for using handheld scanner to unscan cartons, you can go for unscan and assign new equipment ID. Okay, click OK. And select the cartons that you want to move to another equipment and then make scan file. So to unscan the cartons using handheld scanner, you still need to go for that 3 steps. The first step is to download. So this is not to download all the carton. You just need to download the carton that you need to move from one container to another. Let's say for this one, from 101 to 150 needs to be moved from the current equipment to another. So just get these cartons downloaded and make scan file. Then take the scanner to the warehouse and scan these cartons only. And once finished that, do the upload. Then the selected cartons will be separated to another equipment. So this is how you unscan using handheld scanner. Well, for manual scan process, if let's say the cartons already left the factory, you cannot really do the physical scanning for those cartons. So you can use the remove and change equipment ID and click OK. Then get the cartons selected and click on change equipment ID. So this is to assign a new equipment number to the selected cartons. While remove equipment ID is just to remove the equipment ID for the selected cartons. And you will need to select these cartons again, then assign a new equipment ID later on. Let's try change equipment ID. So enter a new equipment number for the selected cartons, then apply and OK. So we've just done this unscan process. And go to create shipments. And we'll see. And now there are 2 equipments created against this purchase order. and right-click on the equipment, then show contents. You can view. So after unscanning the cartons, so these cartons from 101 to 150 have been moved to a new equipment numbered 200707B. Okay. So for this PO, the cartons have been loaded into two container. Just to let you know, when you changing the equipment ID, and if the cartons are actually loaded into different container, you have to make sure the equipment number are assigned with different numbers. Okay. Well, if the number, the same number is used for the equipment for the same PO, then system will consolidate all the cartons together. So I'm changing the equipment number for the second equipment from the 7B to 7A, and you will see they will be grouped together. So now those cartons are grouped together into the same equipment. So when updating the equipment number, and you need to be careful when assigning the equipment number for the cartons coming from the same PO. So once you finish that, you can go for shipment creation by selecting the equipment and create shipment, and click yes to confirm. So now the packing list has been generated, and the packing list reference is system generated. Well, you will need to link the plan to ship to this packing list, so that the plan to ship, the shipment detail on the plan to ship will be populated to the packing list. And click on the lookup. And when the plan to ship is accepted in accepted status, they will be available here for you to select. Or if you do not find any plan to ship link, you should go and check if the plan to ship is created and if it has been in accepted status. So click on the link. The page will be auto-refreshed. Then the packing list number will be updated with the plan to ship reference. So you can see the packing list reference has been updated to be the same as the plan to ship reference. And now we have the data, shipment data, populated from the plan to ship. And you can see the booking number, the shipment load type, and some of the other data fields. The invoice number, you can provide the invoice number on the packing list. So once the packing list is active, the invoice will be auto drafted using this invoice number. And this can be self-defined, and you can use your vendor invoice number. And date will be populated automatically. Well, if the estimated departure day and estimated arrival day are blank, you can manually provide the information here. And use the calendar to select the date or just manually update. Oops. Then estimated arrival date. Right. So the method mode will be populated, and the location code, departure and arrival location code, and parties, and equipment type. Serial number will only be required for the CY shipment. So now you can preview the packing list. And from the equipment summary section, apart from seeing the the equipment reference number, and you can also find the item quantity loaded into this equipment, and the package count, the total net weight, gross weight, and the volume. And click on preview is to go to the packing list, the preview page. And approve button will be displayed if there are no validation errors, and you can approve the packing list. Okay. And edit is to go back to the previous page and make change. Cancel is to cancel this document. Then you will need to go back to the print scan ship page and the select equipment to create a shipment again. And to generate the PDF, you can go for print PDF, then view PDF. To search the packing list, click on applications, then packing list. Use the packing list reference or the PO number to search, and refresh to locate this particular packing list. The browse date shows 30 days. Click on Go. You can search the packing list that created in last 30 days. The status shows whether this packing list is approved or not. Okay, the connected PO number and the packing list number. So click on this link. You will get into the packing list. For any change after packing list is generated, let's say the quantity needs to be updated, or the weight or volume needs to be updated, the equipment needs to be removed from the packing list. So if packing list is already generated, and you should click on remove to remove this equipment before you are able to edit the quantity or package code or weights or measures. Click on remove and confirm remove. So now the equipment has been removed. And then you can go and update the change and put the equipment back to the packing list. So the latest data will be populated to this packing list. Okay, the next I'm gonna show you the functions that you can use to update the quantity after labels are printed. As you can see on the print scan ship page, there's adjust and delete package option. And click on adjust and delete. You can use the document reference to filter the cartons that you want to, update. Adjust is selected by default. Adjust is to change the packing quantity of a particular carton. Let's say if some of the item in a carton failed in final inspection, needs to be taken out from that carton. So which result in there will be two items, short ship two items in that carton. And so if that's the case, you can use adjust to manually update the item quantity. And delete is to delete a whole carton from the current packing plan. Okay, let me get just give me a second. So to adjust a carton, the quantity for a carton, you can find the carton first, then click on the packing plan reference on that range. Then you can click on the carton number. Let's say if this carton 46 needs to be updated, so manually edit the packed quantity. So 2 items needs to be taken from the carton and can manually update the quantity from 30 to 28. And you can find the carton details like the serial number for this particular carton and the carton number, the packing type, and the SKUs packed in this carton and the quantity planned. So now we are removing these 2 items, and these 2 items will no longer be shipped to buyer. And click on adjust, the quantity will be updated. Okay, so delete. Let me show you delete. Delete is to delete the whole carton. So instead of reopening the packing plan, you can delete any impact cartons, then create a new packing plan to indicate the accurate packing method. So delete quantity will be available for a new packing. So delete particularly can be used when the SKUs and the packing quantity do not match with the carton label. Maybe this is a bulk carton on the plan, but in the actual shipment, it will become a mixed remainder carton. So the items have been changed. The quantity probably have been changed. Instead of using adjustment, you need to use the delete to delete the whole carton and then recreate a new packing plan. 2 delete options. Delete individual package allows you to delete a carton one time. And if you have a large number of cartons to be deleted, and you're recommended to use the delete package range. Let me show you delete individual package. First, again, you need to find the carton that you want to delete. Then click on the carton number and view the carton details. Click on confirm delete. The quantity will be released for new packing. Well, if you have several cartons to be deleted, then you can go for delete package range. So now you can select carton range. You can select carton range and then click on delete to delete the selected cartons. And to partially select certain cartons from a range, just go for select package and then select the carton and click on delete. So delete cartons, selected cartons will be deleted. Okay, so this is about delete. Let's see. Okay, we'll try to delete 44 to 46. Click on delete and confirm yes. So now the selected cartons have been deleted. Well, if you go to the packing plan, you will see the packing plan will be auto refreshed. So on the packing plan preview, and we can see that the there is 90 items has been deleted from this current packing plan. The original packing quantity is 1,500, and 90 of them has been deleted in 3 cartons. And the net weight, gross, and volume is also refreshed. Then at the bottom, we can see the delete details. And so it is 44 to 46. 3 cartons have been deleted. So without reopening the packing plan, the 3 cartons have been deleted. So for the rest of the cartons on the packing plan remain unchanged. So their labels are still valid, and the quantity in this 3 carton needs to be repacked to indicate the accurate packing method. So when you create a new packing plan, you will see the delete quantity is available for packing. So this is the 90 items, and you can select item and packing and complete this packing plan. Okay, so this is about adjust and delete. So you can find the exceptions handling on the factory management training as well. And about the packing list, we've already demoed how to get it created in the system. And about the rules and guidelines for the packing list, you should know that a packing list can contain multiple packing plans or POs. But there should be only one packing list created for one plan to ship. So it's one-to-one relationship. And then one packing list will generate one invoice only. So if for some of the POs needs to be grouped onto the same packing list, and you have to make sure they are grouped on the same plan to ship. Packing list, on a single packing list, there should be only one ship to destination. Okay. And for CY load, the equipment count in the packing list must be the same as the equipment count in the plan to ship. So that is, if one container is booked on the booking, on the plan to ship, then on the packing list, there should be only one container. Okay. And these are the required data field on the packing list, and most of them will be auto-populated, except the invoice number. So you can manually provide invoice number on the packing list. And if the other data field are missing, you can manually get them updated. The packing list reference number, sorry, the plan to ship reference will be used as the packing list reference. If critical PO amendments are received in the NEXUS after the packing list is generated and the supplier responsible to update the document accordingly. So you can go for the packing list impact due to critical order amendment email subscription to receive email alerts regarding the critical PO amendment change, so that you'll be able to update your packing list accordingly. So the next several slides shows you how to create a shipment and get the packing list submitted, and how to search the packing list and get into the packing list folder. So packing list also has a folder. Packing list folder. If you get into the packing list folder, the relevant documents can be viewed, like the plan to ship, the relevant orders connected to this packing list. Okay. And exception processing shows you how to manage exceptions. It covers how to remove equipment from the packing list. So quantity, if quantity needs to be updated, equipment must be removed from packing list. And how to perform manual and scan, we've already demoed. And how to adjust individual packages. And how to delete packages. And how to edit equipment number. How to add an equipment to an existing packing list. About performing manual and scan. Okay, we've already demoed this part. You know, to move certain cartons from one equipment to another. So this happens when some of the cartons have been wrongly assigned to an equipment, and you can use the nscan function to pull those cartons and put those cartons into another equipment. And you can also use the nscan function to just remove certain cartons from the equipment. Probably those cartons will be shipped later. So you, by unscanning those cartons, then you will be able to select those cartons for a new shipment later on. So once all the changes or update is finished, you need to put the equipment back to your original packing list. To do so, you will need to go to the print scan ship page. And get into create shipment and use the document reference or equipment reference or packing plan reference to search the equipment. And select the equipment. Click on add to shipment. So create shipment is to create a new shipment because the packing list is already in the system. So just click on add to shipment. And you can use the packing list reference to filter. And click the packing list. Click on the packing list and apply. Just confirm. Click OK to confirm. So when the equipment is added back to the packing list, the latest data will be populated to the packing list. So if the quantity or carton count or weight or volume has been updated, the latest data will be populated to the packing list. So this is all about the handling exceptions in the factory management system. Then in this section, you can find the instructions, the full details of the instruction and the operating steps. Okay. Right. So before we move on, I'd like to provide you a break, which is 10 minutes break. Please come back in 10 minutes, then we'll continue the rest of the items for today. Okay, so before we get into the invoice, just let me approve the packing list. Right. So the commercial invoice will be auto-drafted once the packing list is active. And one packing list will generate one invoice only. Then the data from packing list and the purchase order will be populated to the commercial invoice. And along submitting the invoice, you're also required to attach the additional shipping documents to the document folder. The document folder will be created once the invoice is active. Okay. The PDF will be available. So the PDF format will be can be auto-generated, and you can go for custom invoice PDF or financial invoice PDF. Okay. So now I'm logging to the seller as a seller and check the auto-created invoice in the system. So when the invoice is auto-generated, you will find an invoice is pending on the vendor task. And you can find the relevant document reference, such as the invoice number, the relevant PO number, and the ASN number. So click the invoice to get into the invoice document. And most data will be populated. So the invoice number is the number that's entered on the packing list. The shipment method, active factory date, are auto-populated. And reference information, connected orders. So if multiple orders are selected or shipped on the same packing list, then those orders will be listed under the selected orders to invoice. Then at the bottom is the packing list. So click on next. And this is the destination page. It's auto-selected. And click on next. And these are the line items and auto-selected based on the line items shipped on the packing list. And you cannot make any change here. If any line needs to be updated, you should go back to the packing list and make the change. Then click on next. And you can view the country of origin and the quantity shipped, the unit price. The unit price comes from the purchase order. If the unit price needs to be changed, you should negotiate the unit price via the order collaboration. And when a PO amendment is sent in, the unit price will be updated. The quantity cannot be changed either. because it comes from the packing list. And for quantity change, you should cancel the invoice and go back to the packing list and reopen the packing list to change. Click on Next. And this is the additional terms page. The statements comes from the purchase order, and you just need to review and acknowledge the statement. Then additional required documents comes from the purchase order. Okay, and select present is to indicate that along with the invoice, and those documents can be provided. Then review the packing details and Ecoterm location. Okay, and click on Next. Review the parties. And for the integrated LSP shipments, you can view the consolidator. And the consolidator is responsible to complete the transport manifest. And click on Next. Is the invoice preview. Validate. And click on Approve is to active the commercial invoice. And the statement in red color is the validation warning. So when you see any validation warning, and you can rate. And to edit the commercial invoice, you can click on Edit. And to cancel, you can click on Cancel. There are two cancel options. Cancel the entire invoice is to delete the whole document. So let's say if packing list needs to be updated, and you should cancel the entire invoice. And once the packing list is updated and reapproved, then a new invoice will be auto-drafted. And the upper one is to cancel the original invoice and automatically redraft an invoice copy. And this can be used when any PO items like unit price is updated, and you can go for this option to refresh the latest PO data on the commercial invoice. And approve is to active. To generate a PDF, click on Print PDF. And you can go for Custom Invoice PDF. This format is particularly designed for the invoice used for the custom clearance. Then Financial Invoice PDF is just the standard invoice PDF for this document. To search the invoice, click on Applications and Invoices. This is another option to search all your invoices, no matter it's pending or submitted already. Use the invoice number to search, or create date to search the invoices created in a number of days. Click on Apply directly. It gets you the invoices drafted in last 30 days. And click on the invoice number to get into the invoice. The invoice status shows you the progress, and by checking the status, you can see whether the invoice has been the payment has been approved for the invoice, and if data compliance has been triggered for the invoice. So we'll talk about the invoice status in a moment. Right. So the all the details for the invoices are covered on the training menu, and how to search the invoice and how to get to the invoice folder. All the fulfillment documents required for the transaction will be generated and saved in the invoice folder. To access the invoice folder, you can click on the folder icon to access to a particular invoice and view the relevant documents against this commercial invoice. Okay. And the next is document folder. Document folder is a place where you can upload the additional required documents. So you can refer the PO page to see what are the additional documents required for the transaction. Then get those documents prepared and upload them to the document folder. So this will be auto-generated once the invoice is active. The document folder will use the packing list reference as the document folder reference. The packing list and the commercial invoice will be auto-attached once to the document folder. Document folder will not be generated for domestic shipment. So you can get into the system and search the document folder. Let me show you. The folder will only be generated once you approve your commercial invoice. So click on approve. Okay, if you refresh the screen, you're gonna have a cancel button. It's still available. So go to task page. You will see document folder has been generated. The packing list reference number is used as the document folder reference. So you can access document folder from here. The status shows draft. And you need to upload the documents and then submit the document folder. The status will be updated to pending approval. So it's waiting buyer to approve the document folder. And on the document folder page, you can find the related reference, like the this is the packing list number used as the document folder reference, and the related invoice number and date created. Then parties, final approval. The required documents. So the invoice and the packing list will be auto-attached to the required documents. And when the required documents displayed on this page, that means that it will be the document that you must submit. Like the bill of lading for this one. So you can click on edit from the top. And now you can click on the ellipsis of a particular document and edit. Then enter the required information, such as the supplied reference. And to upload the bill of lading, and you can enter the bill of lading reference number here and enter the date issued. Then click on the folder icon to select the document from your local computer. Then apply. So now this document has been attached to the document folder page. Just to let you know, if invoice or packing list has been revised, and the latest will be attached to the document folder. If you need to upload optional documents, you can click on optional documents and click on the ellipsis of the document that you'll be uploading and edit and enter the document reference and select the issue date. Then click on the folder icon to select the documents and apply. So once all the documents have been uploaded, and you can click on save and click on submit. You always need to submit to finish your action, to submit the document folder to the the final approver. So now the status has been updated to pending approval. Okay, once it's approved, the status will become active. So to search and access document folder, apart from access the document folder page from the task page when it's pending, and you can also access document folder from the applications menu. And use the packing list reference to search. And you can see the status of the document folder. And use the modified timestamp is to search the document folder that created in last 30 days. The status column shows you the progress of document folder. When it's submitted by supplier, status will be pending approval, and when it's approved by Pentland, the status will become active. And when it's dropped, it means the document folder has not been submitted yet by the supplier. You can click on the reference number link to get into any particular document folder page. Okay. So this is about uploading the documents. Then proof of delivery. Proof of delivery is not handled by the supplier. So once you submit your invoice and submit your document folder, and you can go to the invoice folder and check what fulfillment documents have been generated and the party responsible for that document. So once the invoices are filtered, click on the folder icon. You can get into the invoice folder to view the the related documents. For this invoice, the invoice document has been approved and in active status. Then approved delivery has been generated, but the status is pending. And you can see the party who is responsible for this document from the next task 2 column. So now it's waiting for the consolidator to complete the transport manifest. Then the proof of delivery will be in released status. And after that, the data compliance will be triggered. So only when the invoice, proof of delivery, and the document folder are all active, and data compliance will be triggered. So document folder is also available in the invoice folder page. So instead of using the application menu, you can also come to the invoice folder of a particular invoice and access document folder from the folder page as well. And you can check the status. Okay. When searching the invoice, you can use the invoice number, and if you change the search relation formula from start with to in list, you'll be able to input multiple invoice numbers and apply to search those invoices. The invoice status shows you the whether the invoice is approved, payment approved, whether data compliance has been triggered or not. So the invoice status, well, payment authorized obviously means the payment has been approved for this invoice. And discrepant means data compliance has been triggered. And it's pending buyer to review and approve the payment. And there's another status called pending authorization. Pending authorization and also means the data compliance has been triggered and pending buyer to approve the payment. The difference between pending authorization and discrepant is that discrepancies are identified after data compliance when the invoice status shows discrepant. While pending authorization means there are no discrepancies. So to learn more about the document status, you can get into the invoice folder. So into the invoice folder. So for this invoice with discrepant status, okay, and first. Okay, so for this one, invoice is active, proof of delivery has been released, and payment authorization is generated in pending status. Next task 2 shows Pentland. So it's awaiting Pentland to review and approve the payment. Okay, and you can get into the payment authorization document. Payment authorization preview and discrepancies can be checked on this page. So if discrepancies identified, they will be displayed here. Well, if discrepancies are not accepted, buyer will reject the payment authorization for you to revise the document. So for this invoice, payment authorization has been generated and in pending status, but next task 2 shows Pentland seller. So the seller's name is presented here. That means the payment has been rejected for this invoice. So that's why the document is pending on seller. So when it's rejected, and you can find a task will be created on vendor's task page. You can filter the task using the document type. payment authorization. So when payment authorization is pending on vendor task, that means buyer has rejected the payment. Okay, and click on the payment authorization link. Then you will come to the preview of payment authorization, and accept rejection button is available on the top. If buyer provided any notes for the rejection, you can find them at the top. So to accept the rejection, you need to click on accept the rejection. Then enter your password, your login password. And then click on accept. And once you've done that, the original invoice will be cancelled and an invoice copy will be created automatically. A wrong password is entered. So let's try again. Right. So now the original invoice will be cancelled. So if you go back to the invoice folder page, you will see the invoice, original invoice has been cancelled and a new invoice copy has been created. And the payment authorization status shows rejected. Then you will need to revise the document and resubmit the invoice to generate a new payment authorization for buyer to review and approve. So apart from the invoice and document folder, proof of delivery basically is not handled by supplier. So from this section, you will find out how the proof of delivery will be released. Then how to view the transport manifest that created by the consolidator. And the compliance section shows you the payment authorization process. So this document will only be created when invoice is active, proof of delivery is released, and document folder is active. Then buyer will review the payment authorization. And when they approve the payment authorization, the payment details will be generated. And if they reject the payment authorization, and you will need to accept the rejection and resubmit the documents in the system. And about the invoice compliance status that you can see from the invoice list page by checking this all this status, all the status of the invoice, you can identify if the payment has been approved. When the invoice is in new status, that means the some of the documents haven't been submitted yet, so data compliance is not triggered. And you can get into the invoice folder to check which document is still pending. And finally, when the payment is approved, the payment authorization will be in active status. Then you can view the payment details. So for the invoices in payment authorized status, okay, and we can get into the invoice folder. The payment number will be generated and assigned to this commercial invoice. And click on the payment number to view the payment details. So the payment number will only be generated when the payment authorization is approved by buyer. So click on the payment number. And you can find the payment ID assigned to this invoice, buyer, payment provider. And from the payment details section, you can find the vendor's bank account number, bank account name, the current payment status, and the vendor credit value date. Principal amount and fees are the hyperlinks. You can further click the link to view more details. The invoice number will be presented under the principal amount. You will have chance to see multiple invoices. That is, the system consolidates the invoices having the same payment date and same buyer and seller bank account and the same currency. Those invoices will be consolidated. And you can view the authorized amount for each invoice. And all the applicable fees will be displayed under the fees link. So the payment provider will debit the principal amount from buyer's bank account on the buyer's payment date. Then bank account will deduct any fees related and remit the remaining balance to vendor account on vendor credit value date. The payment status will be updated. Now it shows scheduled. It means the payment has been approved and on schedule. And when it reached to buyer payment date, the status will be updated to processing. Then once the payment is received, you will see the status will be changed to confirmed. Okay. This is one of the options to check the payment details. Another option is to click on applications and payment. Okay, and the browse date can be changed, to extend your search result. And the payment ID, click the payment ID to view the details. And from the table here, we can find the payment ID. And the payment type shows credit in vendor account. And the value date is the vendor credit value date. And the status. Click the ID link. And you will get into the payment details page directly. And click on the hyperlink to view more details. Okay, so this is about checking the payment. Going back to the invoice folder. So for this invoice, which has been approved the payment, I want to show you the payment authorization of this invoice. So from the payment authorization, you can view the discrepancies. And if there are no discrepancies, that field will be blank. And for this one, I'd like to show you the adjustment. Because for any invoice with prepayment invoice created and submitted, that pre-format invoice will be converted automatically as an adjustment and applied to the associated invoice payment. So we can see that there is a 2,000 prepayment made by a buyer And so this amount has already been adjusted from the full invoice amount. So vendor will only be paid with the remaining balance. Okay. Then about that adjustment, for all the adjustment that created and uploaded to NEXUS, a vendor has visibilities to those documents, can click on applications, then get into adjustment. And search, use the filter to search the adjustment. And you can view the adjustment reference and the reason code, and adjustment type, a currency. Allocation status shows you whether this amount has been applied to a payment. So click on the reference number. You can view details, more details about this adjustment. And the reference number displayed under the document, this is the invoice number. So if you click on the invoice number, you'll get into the payment authorization of that invoice. So this adjustment has been applied because the status, allocation status shows fully allocated. Okay. The highlights for the payment process. The payment dates will be auto calculated based on the payment term specified on the PO. So the logic is that the payment value date will be calculated by the baseline date plus the number of days that's specified on the PO. And the baseline date will be the latest date coming from these 3 dates. Whichever is the latest will be picked as the baseline date to calculate the buyer payment date. Payment will be made on Wednesday. So once the payment value date is calculated, the initial payment value date is calculated, then the actual payment date will be revised to the next applicable Wednesday. If that's a holiday, then the payment will be made on the next business day. Okay. So only when the invoice in payment authorized status, the payment details will be available for vendor to review. And deduction management section shows you how to access and view the adjustment document. When it's applied or be presented on the payment authorization document, and supplier can go for email subscription to receive email alert when an adjustment is created. And if any adjustment applied to the payment, it can also be tracked by using the payment authorization detail report. And to view the adjustment document directly, click Adjustment from the application menu. About the administration and reports. For this part, if you are an administrator of your company, and because you're responsible to create additional login ID and manage the user rights, so you can join our bite-sized training course to learn more details about creating the ID and granting the security rights to the user, and you learn how to run and schedule the reports in the system. To check the available bite-sized training course, you can click on question mark icon, then get into training calendar. So these are the current courses we're offering. InfoNexus one-on-one is about basic navigation. Administration reports is particularly for administrator or any users interested in using the reports. And order collaboration is particularly for the system solution function covering the order collaboration. So you can join this course to learn more about handling exceptions and the basics of order collaboration. And FM exception handling. And you can also join this course because it will cover some scenarios of handling exceptions during the shipment. Plan to ship is particularly for the plan to ship documents and exceptions. And the invoice folder navigation provides you the basic navigation about the invoice folder page. So all these courses are applicable for Pentland's partners. So you can pick the one that you do like to join first, then register for that course. Okay, find the course and click on register here to input your name, email address, company, and transacting buyer. Then select the language. English, you can go for English or Mandarin. And once the language selected, and the next available courses will be displayed. So select the dates that you want to join and submit. Then the meeting link will be received one day before the training date. So this is how to register the bite-sized training course that are available for all the partners. Okay. However, the detailed steps of creating user managing rights are also provided on the training menu. So if you'd like to learn by reading the menu, you can go to the administration and reports section and find out the details. And the last page shows you the customer support. So the go live date will be July 26th. And once you start using the system, and if you have any issues or questions, and you can contact InfoNexus customer support via telephone or email. So by sending the email to the support, you'll be receiving a reply email with a case number provided. So whenever you call the customer support or send email to the service email, and you can provide the case number for the customer support to further check. Okay. Right. I think that's all we need to cover. And before we get into the Q&A, the last item I'd like to go through is about the email subscription. So we introduced a little bit in this morning that a user can get into the My Profile page to view or update personal information, right? And go for email subscription. So in the email subscription section, you'll be presented with a list of events for you to select. So when the event happens, user will be notified by email. So I'm going to recommend some events for you to select. So the first one is task, task assignment. So when this one is selected, if any document is generated and assigned to this login user, user will be receiving email alert. Okay. And if you're looking for notification for adjustment, select manage adjustment activities. So this is only available in vendor account. Okay, so when this one is selected, user will be receiving email when an adjustment document is created. If you'd like to go for plan to ship related, when the plan to ship is rejected or accepted, and you can get the plan to ship request accepted or rejected selected. So when the booking is accepted by the integrated consolidator, you'll be notified. Or when it's rejected, you'll be notified by email. And these three are also recommended. The plan to ship impact due to critical order amendment, and packing list impact due to critical order amendment, and packing plan impact due to critical order amendment. So by having these three selected, and you will be notified when a critical PO amendment is received, so that you can update the relevant documents accordingly. Then for the purchase order, as a vendor, if you'd like to be notified when a new PO or PO amendment is received, you can come to procurement events and select the purchase order approved by buyer, and is for newly received orders. And you can go for the order amendment activated and the order amendment approved by buyer. So when any PO amendments are received, no matter they are auto active or pending, user will be notified by email. And order cancelled by amendment is particularly for notification email that when a PO has been cancelled. Then about the payment authorization document. If payment authorization document rejected is selected, and vendor user will be notified when the payment is rejected, meaning that you need to log in and accept the rejection, then revise and resubmit the document. The last is payment related. And you can go for payment credit line confirmed and invoice consolidated. Payment credit line confirmed is for receiving the payment when the vendor account received the payment, and this user will receive email alert. Invoice consolidated is for any invoices with payment approved and consolidated on one payment. So once you get all the required events selected, click on Save Email Subscription to save your settings. And if any notification is no longer needed, you can come back to the profile page and then remove your selection and save. Okay. So that's for the email subscription on the profile page. And at the bottom, you can view your current security rights granted. If any rights are missing, contact the meeting user to get the rights added to your login ID. Right. Okay. So that's all for today. And let's just have a quick review on the workflow to refresh your memory. So we talk about the Pentland partner workflow on the NEXUS today. As a supplier, okay, vendor user, once the orders are received, you need to confirm or negotiate the order terms via the order collaboration. So if no change are not needed, you can confirm the order lines directly in the order collaboration. And if changes are needed, you can enter a new value and submit it to Pentland to review and approve. And after that, a PO amendment will be received to get the order terms changed. And confirmed orders will be available for the downstream documents, like the packing plan. So this is the documents where the PO items are converted to shipping carton. Then create a plan to ship using packing plan. And plan to ship will be submitted to the integrated consolidator for the shipment booking. And for a non-integrated consolidator shipment, plan to ship will be reviewed by Pentland with the LSP, the logistics service provider information provided. So supplier needs to make the booking offline, then manually complete the plan to ship response. Print the carton labels and scan the carton label barcode and load the cartons into the container. Then create a shipment to generate the packing list. And you will need to link the plan to ship with your packing list so that the shipment details will be populated from the plan to ship to the packing list. So once it's submitted, commercial invoice will be auto-drafted, and most of the data will be populated from the packing list and PO. And you need to review, then approve the commercial invoice. And document folder will be auto-created after invoice is active. And the required documents, additional required documents needs to be provided here. Approve the delivery is also auto-drafted when the invoice is active. So it will be completed either by the transport manifest created by the freight forwarder or the shipment milestone sent in from the Pentland's SAP to get the proof delivery released. And payment authorization will be generated after data compliance and assigned to buyer to review and approve the payment. And once it's approved, and vendor can log in to view the payment details. And if any adjustment is created, and it will be applied to the next available payment. So you can get into the payment authorization document to see the discrepancies and to view the adjustment applied to the payment.